Hi, I'm Megan, and we'll be running through the cardiac rehab exercise routine today. Okay, first we're going to be starting by doing backward shoulder rolls, rolling those shoulders nice and high and opening up those shoulders and that chest every time that you roll back. And doing about 5 to 10 wherever your range is. And slowly switching and reversing the rolls to open up those shoulders, bringing them all the way forward as you shrug. Starting to bring your breath into awareness. We'll next reach out, sending those arms out nice and far, and pulling those shoulders back, feeling like you're pulling your shoulder blades together, and reaching out nice and far, bending that spine, and bringing those shoulder blades back together. Breathing out and in as you pull back. Next, we'll be taking our gaze to the ceiling, waking up that neck and bringing that chin down to your chest and gazing up and tucking it down in, getting that range of motion. Next, we'll be bringing our gaze to either side, gazing back, using your eyes every single time to pull your head a little bit farther back. Breathing in and out. Being aware of that. Next, sitting up nice and tall, we're going to get the kinks out of our knees, sending those legs out nice and far, sitting up nice and straight at the edge of that chair. Keep that posture nice and reach out. Okay, and that is the start. Next, we'll be moving to the bar to do our band exercises. Okay, next we'll be standing up and placing the resistance band on a sturdy bar, taking both the handles in your hand and stepping back to leave a little bit of tension on the band and having those arms out nice and straight. Have those feet in a nice staggered stance, the front knee bent, making sure that your feet aren't together, but you have that stance to pull it back. You're going to keep those arms at about hip height and pulling them back waist height and slowly forward. Breathing in and out as you release it all the way. We'll be going for about 20 seconds and making sure that you're keeping it nice and tight, those elbows tucked into your sides as you reach back and that posture nice and good. Next, we'll be turning around, so swinging that band, grabbing the handles once again, standing in that staggered athletic stance with those knees, that front knee slightly bent. The handles will be at the height of your waist and reaching out as far as you can and slowly bringing it back in. You want to make sure that you're reaching out at the same pace that you're pulling it back in to make sure that you're not letting the band do the work, but you're letting your muscles do the work. Reaching out nice and far and slowly coming back. And at any point, if you need to make this exercise a little bit harder, you can step farther away with your same band, reaching out and coming back in. Or if you need to make it a little bit easier or modify it, you can be closer to the bar, reaching out nice and far and coming back that nice and slow. Once again, we'll repeat those same exercises once again for 20 seconds. So standing in that nice staggered stance, pulling those bands back to your chest and slowly forward, reaching out nice and straight. Keeping that gaze nice and up, not tucking that body down, but keeping those shoulders with good posture, pulling it back and slow. Bringing it all the way back to your chest every single time. And then our final one, turning around, standing in that staggered stance, reaching out nice and far and pulling it back nice and slow. Feel like your head is connected to the ceiling of the string and you want to keep it, that posture nice and straight. Reaching out. Okay. And then we'll sit back down. And that comes to the end of our bar exercise. Next we'll be moving into our weight exercises. You'll be using the proper weights that your exercise physiologist has assigned to you. Our first exercise will be our sit to stands. So sitting at the edge of your chair with a nice posture, your feet hip-width distance apart. Crossing your arms on your shoulders, we'll stand up for 1 and slowly sitting down. Going up nice and high and slowly back down. You want to make sure that you're not plopping down into your seat as you go down, but you're using those leg muscles to go up nice and high and slowly back down. Keep that posture nice and straight, never leaning forward, but dropping back down. Going up and back down. Keep those arms on those shoulders. If you need to make modifications, if your range of motion doesn't do that, placing your arms down to your sides work just as well. Going up. And sitting back down, taking that nice breather in between every exercise that you do. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Keeping those lips nice and pursed as you let it all out. Our next exercise, you'll grab the weights, palms facing in at your sides, have that nice posture as well, and curling those weights up to your shoulders and slowly back down. Bringing them up nice and high and back down to your sides. Make sure that your elbows are nice and tucked into your sides and your gaze is up. Your posture is nice and straight and your back is not leaning or touching the back of the chair because you're using that core to keep your back up nice and high. We'll be doing 10 of these and coming up, down. Setting those weights on your knees and keeping that bottom at the edge of your chair. The weights will be resting on your knees and you'll use your hands to hold them in position, but you don't want to be holding them with your arms. You want your legs to be the drive up. So drive those knees up, nice and high to the sky, keeping that posture nice and high. We'll do 5 each leg. Use that core to bring them up a little bit higher every single time. And back down. Taking those nice deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth to be aware. Grabbing those weights, nice straight arms. Keep those elbows nice and locked and bringing the weights up to shoulder height for a V lift and slowly back down. You want to keep that posture nice and straight and feel like you're reaching those arms out nice and far every single time. We'll do 5 of these. Make sure you're not going above shoulder height, but back down. Breathing in as you go up and exhale as you go back down. Final one, reaching up nice and high and slowly back down. Setting those weights down on your legs again one more time. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Every time, make sure you're filling up those lungs and that tummy to really get the most out of each breath. Palms down at your sides. We'll be doing sit to stands with our dumbbell curls. So placing those feet hip-width distance apart, weights down at your sides, and you're going to stand up with a nice straight back, curling those weights up to your shoulder, and slowly sitting back down. Combining the 2 exercises that we did earlier in this video. And we'll be going for 8 of these. So standing up nice and high, curling those weights up to the shoulder, and sitting back down. Make sure you're not plopping back down, but always sitting up nice and high. Using those knees to get as straight as you can. Oops. Standing up nice and tall. And slowly back down. Final one. And sitting back down. Letting those weights sit on your knees. Breathing in nice and deep. And exhaling. Filling up those lungs. And while you're doing that, I'll explain, you can do it modified. You can always set down your weights throughout this exercise to make it easier. And you will still get the same benefit. Okay, We'll do our last set of V-lifts, having those arms straight down at your sides and bringing the weights up to shoulder height and slowly back down to your sides. We'll do 5 of these, reaching those arms out farther every single time and slowly back down. Keep the arms and elbows nice and locked out. Keep that gaze up nice and high. And our final one. And back down. And that comes to the end of our weights. Okay. Ending with our final stretches, we'll start with our airplane stretch. Reaching your arms out nice and far with good posture, those shoulders rolled back, and going side to side, bringing those arms out as far as you can, thinking about reaching out the whole time that you're doing this and dropping down to your sides to feel that stretch in the back and on your sides. Rotating back and forth, and then coming, sitting up nice and straight, sitting at the edge of your chair to do the hamstring stretch. Reaching a leg out nice and straight, keep that back nice and straight, point the toe back towards you, and slowly reach it down to reach for your toe. Keep that back nice and straight, that chest out, and inhale, exhale, reach a little bit deeper down to touch the toe. Make sure that you're not bouncing throughout this exercise, but letting yourself sink deeper in. Holding for about 5 to 10 seconds and coming back up, taking a nice deep breath in and out and reaching back down. Holding that for about 5 to 6 seconds, feeling it in that hamstring as you reach down nice and far and coming back up straight and reaching the opposite leg that you have not done yet, out nice and straight, pointing that toe back towards you. Sit up nice and tall and use that arm to work slowly down your leg. Inhale, exhale, sink a little bit deeper, feeling that stretch in the back of your hamstring. Coming back up after about 5 to 10 seconds, and inhale, exhale, reach back down. Coming back up. And now we'll go over to the bar to do our final calf stretch. So placing your hands on the bar, placing one leg in front and placing another leg in back. Bending that front leg and dropping down that back leg to push the heel down into the ground. To feel more of the stretch, you can make that stance a little bit longer and push down in that back heel. Really leaning in to feel it in that back leg calf. Inhale. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper, pushing down, holding for about 5 to 10 seconds, and standing up and switching to the opposite leg, having that front leg bent and that back leg nice and straight, pushing down on that back heel with your back leg, and inhale, exhale, sink a little bit deeper, and if at any point you don't feel this exercise, you can widen that stance. After 5 to 10 seconds, you'll stand back up. And that is the end of our exercise. Thank you so much for following along in these exercises today. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at our cardiac rehab department. Have a great day.